What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome back. You're into another edition of Next Gen Jets. Appreciate you all sticking with us here on this Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us grow significantly here on the channel. Super Chats, memberships also go a long way. Every $2.99 Super Chat or gifted membership will give you a raffle entry. We appreciate all of your support here on the program. Throw your questions in the chat for us. We'll get to those. Call into the show with the pinned comments. Chris, second time in 24 hours. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Excited to chop it up with you boys.
My name is Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could have hired, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every 2026 QB just based on highlights. I have watched 5 minutes of Nico's highlights and he is a Hall of Fame. Arm strength is all that matters. This isn't the same old Jets. THE 2025 Jets are different. Justin Fields is the franchise guy, or Nico will be drafted in 26. Highlights are all that matter.
Chris, what'd you do today?
What I do today?
Yeah.
I drove home from Abuela's house. We're helping to move into our home, so it's gonna be exciting.
What time did you wake up?
Why am I getting interrogated? What time did you wake up, Connor?
I woke up at 11 today. What time did you wake up, Chris?
That's a bum hour for you. That's a bummish hour. I woke up at 9 and got out to the range, so I had a solid day.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to catch up. I had about 4 hours of sleep on the other night, so I had to catch up 1-to-1, about like 1:45-ish, about 2-ish to 11. So got some solid sleep in. Then I got to wake up early for school tomorrow morning. So had to catch up on my sleep before I return back to school. Jack, what's going on?
I think I'm good, man. But I think this is what.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I think this is like what 11th edition
how
now
you
of
doing?
Next Gen Jets. I said I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm joking. Can't complain. Jack, what'd you do today?
I watched my cousin's senior night for softball. She's going to Providence next year, following in the traces of her sister. And then let's see. Then I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning.
Wait, so you went to the senior game before you woke up? Is that what you're saying?
No, no.
Was your bed like wheeled out to the bleachers?
Yes, it was wheeled out to the bleachers.
Interesting.
I am Jack Cotter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, crazy. Jets will win 6 games no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat always talking crap, but it don't.
Josh, officially, and before we even get there, what is happening here?
What is Grasso doing?
Same thing.
What is happening with our friend Chris over here? I guess we'll never know.
He's
As
bamboo.
Kanye West once said. Josh, officially a member here of our Sunday show. Super happy to make this official. What's going on, my man?
I can see the pixels of Chris, but excited to be joined by my 3 favorite Jets fans of this world. Excited to make this a Sunday staple with the boys. And excited to see, after we get off here, the rubber match of the Subway Series. Hopefully my Yankees can take it.
baby.
Let's go Yankees!
Oh, Mets, baby.
Mets are
Glad
going
to
to
talk
take Max
all
Fried.
things Jets
Okay. Yeah,
on all Sundays.
Mets are taking down Max Fried today. Not a
Best pitcher in the AL.
Not a worry. Great. Griffin Canning, best pitcher in the NFL and NL.
NFL.
And the NFL showed that
NFL.
yesterday.
Oh, huh? Yo, my name is Josh Whoever, and I love the Gamecocks. SC football in the game. Green winning 1 weekend. There's nothing better. The Jets should have drafted Emma Worry in 25. Now they better take Sellers in 26. Jack always talking about touching the MetLife turf, but has he even done so? Yep, I am new to the Sunday show, but I am more than ready. Yes, Jimmy, I see you.
Oh my!
So
To be fair, I have touched MetLife turf.
Thoughts on that illustrious piece of art that I constructed.
That is the
To
best.
be fair, I have touched MetLife turf.
I'm glad I finally got mine. But yeah, Lenore Sellers for Jet QB 2026. Assuming Justin Fields doesn't take us to the playoffs.
How about Will Howard and Katie
Ready,
Klubnik?
baby.
Connor? How are they doing?
Oh my god. Oh my god. inside joke there. Anyways, Jack, you weren't on with us last night, so I want to, before we get into the main message today that came way of Adam Schefter from ESPN, I want to get your thoughts on the potential reunion, which we were talking about last night, of Jamal Adams. Are you open to bringing in Jamal Adams on a veteran minimum deal, have him come in here this summer, compete, and try to earn a roster spot?
I'd be open to it. The only issue I have with him is his age. Obviously, he hasn't really been productive since the year like 2021. I get he's still fairly young for an NFL player, but he's a safety. That safety is that position is very physical. Obviously, you get beat down a lot in this league, and injuries have always been a problem for him, especially that 2021 injury with Seattle. That really chopped down his career a lot. The thing about Jamal Adams is, obviously the first 4 years, I should say, of his NFL career, he was arguably a top 3 safety in this entire league. Now I don't really see that a lot. He hasn't really been productive, like I said, since that 2021 season before he got that injury. I'd be open to it, although I'd probably only get him on a 1 to 2 year deal.
I think it's a 1-year deal if they bring him in. Why would you sign him to a 2-year deal if there's not really much of a chance of him making the roster? Then who do you want to be the Jets kicker in 2025?
I think, for the veteran presence, and Anders Carlson would be a great choice to have. The thing about him, though, is, I'd like to see what the young guy, Caden Davis, can do with our undrafted free agent. Either of those guys would be fine. And, finally, my former guy, Greg Zuerlein, was cut the other day. So you got to appreciate that move by the Jets. So I think you got to go with Anders Carlson here.
So Anders Carlson, you want him to be the Jets kicker? Give me Nick Folk any day of the week. I think I want a veteran presence who's consistent. I don't really consider Anders Carlson a veteran in my opinion. I also think he was way too inconsistent last year for my liking. I don't think he has much of a leg. So Anders Carlson for me, not the biggest.
I like to see what Caden Davis can do as well.
Yeah, undrafted free agent. Maybe he can provide some sort of spark, but I'm looking more towards. I want a seasoned name. I don't want to have a kicker who's gonna have to come in and learn on the spot. I want a proven name who's solidified himself as a top kicker in this league, and I think Nick Folk brings that to the table, 1,000%. So give me Nick Folk. Now let's hop over to the main topic for today's video. When you look at the Jets schedule, you only see 2 primetime games circled, something that Chris Grasso loves. Why is that? ESPN Adam Schefter has an answer. Let's take a listen.
Well, the first game of the season is against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So when we look at the New York Jets, what better opportunity for Justin Fields in week 1 than to go up against the team that at one point benched him last season for Russell Wilson? Now, Pittsburgh wanted him back at one point after they tried to trade for Matthew Stafford and then went to Justin Fields to re-sign him. But at that point, I think he had mentally moved on, got the deal from the New York Jets, a team that paid him, and now Justin Fields does not have to wait long before he gets a chance to go up against his former team. It could be Justin Fields versus Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields versus his former team, Aaron Rodgers versus his former team. The NFL certainly knows how to schedule those games. And the Jets are amazing because last year with Aaron Rodgers, 6 primetime games. This year, 2 primetime games. So the league is telling us, don't believe that much in the Jets. Understandably right now, we'll see how it goes with the new first-year head coach in Aaron Glenn, new GM Darren Muji, and essentially a new remade roster.
If the NFL doesn't believe in the Jets, cool. In my opinion, I couldn't care less. I actually think that's a great thing. I want to be out of the spotlight this season. I think 2 primetime games is a great amount. You're not in the spotlight too much, but you get an opportunity to show who you are as a football team. So I'm kind of happy that the Jets aren't going to be in the spotlight every single weeknight, Josh.
Sorry, yeah, that was really annoying me, especially in that season when Aaron Rodgers went down and the whole country was watching Zach Wilson represent our franchise. And we had that
pretty accurate representation of the past 60 years, if you think about it.
That makes sense. We had the Fail Mary on the first ever Black Friday game.
That's hilarious.
To debut that series. Remember when we went to Las Vegas and we had that Hail Mary at the end? I think it was Tyler Conklin batted it out of the arms of Alan Lazard. I mean, we're just embarrassing ourselves left and right.
Michael Clemens punching a referee.
Yeah, we talked about that one last night. I mean, there's countless times. And then we got stomped by the Chargers. There's just so many instances. I agree with you, Connor. I don't need the Jets to be front and center everywhere every time. Personally, as a football fan, I'm a 1 p.m. kind of guy. That is what I feel like is true football. I don't want to have to wait till Monday to watch my team play. I want to be on when NFL Red Zone's on. Sorry for the ambulance if you can hear that in the background, but I want to be out of the spotlight. Yeah, that's the Brooklyn effect for you. But I agree with you,
Brooklyn.
especially because we talked about that too last night. But especially because this Jets team has a lot of learning to do. We talked about the Aaron Glenn quote: "Buckle up and get ready for the ride." They have a lot of learning to do. The mistakes will come, especially early, with a entirely new staff and an entirely new system. The mistakes will come. So let's work through those and focus on these next coming years to be a big problem for the rest of the AFC.
Jack?
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy about this move as well because, like you guys said, I don't want really any pressure on the Jets this year, especially after what's happened with the last 2 years, especially with that horrific ending to the Bills game last year on Monday night. Just a lot of embarrassing moments on primetime overall, and I'm kind of happy that I get to watch my 1 p.m. Jets lose on CBS with Kevin Harlan announcing this game. That's a perfect week. That's a perfect week for us,
Ask Connor about Iron Eagle.
Get back to the same old. Get back to the same old.
We're getting rid of the old. So everyone knows I love the Jet Life atmosphere going to a primetime game. I love everything about it. I love the drive in. Even though this may seem crazy, I love the drive out. I love all the LED lights flashing upon the stadium. Although primetime has been a bad spot for us, I love primetime games. But this year, it is a good thing that we are not in primetime that much. As Jack said, I don't want there to be any pressure on the Jets this year. And it gives us a chance to move in silence, which is something that we need to be doing. We need to earn primetime games. If the Jets are competitive, we will get primetime games later in the season. But for now, we just need to move in silence, develop some faith in this regime, and see what Justin Fields is. And ultimately, this is a no-pressure year, and I think our schedule reflects that. So, I mean, although me personally, I'm not happy with it because I love going to Jet Life for primetime games, it gives us a good opportunity to find ourselves and, catch a hot streak and then get some primetime games towards the end of the season.
I don't really think I think this year there's just going to be not many primetime games, which I'm cool with. I don't really like being embarrassed on national television night in and night out.
That's old. It's not that.
So you have to show that they're new.
Chris, we've been the same old Jets for the past 50 years.
What?
We've been the same old Jets for the past 50 years.
Yep, and now Aaron Glenn will change us.
So when Chris is thinking the Jaguars should be on primetime every night because who knows, Liam Cohen could be the next Bill Belichick. And the Jaguars are starting a dynasty.
That you just said made 0 sense, bro. I don't get it.
No, it doesn't. First year unproven head coach, better team last year. They're restarting the roster. They don't deserve primetime.
I said, me personally, I like primetime games, but I like the Jets, how they don't have them as much. I don't like it, but it gives them a good opportunity to move in silence. So where do you take the Jaguars should be in primetime every week from that? I'm confused.
Because you said I thought you said it was like a new regime and, you wanted to show what you have or something like that.
No, I said it gives us time to catch our stride and then earn primetime games later in the year when we're good.
Well, I agree with that. But you can't really just slot in primetime games unless it's week 18.
Jimmy says, Jack, you haven't been alive for 50 years. Stick to the 2020 Jets info.
Linebacker 1, Neville Hewitt. Wasn't really great.
Love that poll.
I'll drop elite ball knowledge, but the topic is 2020 Jets.
What, they win 2 games that year? What was that?
The 2-15, baby.
That was the year when Greg Williams dialed up the all-out blitz and
our only 2 wins were scores 23-20. That's it. They had the same exact score. Both of our wins. It's crazy.
It's the Browns and the Rams.
I was really worrying about that when I hit go live. How many? What the outcome of the Jets wins in 2020? Adam Gase, that's a great football player for you.
Lamar Jackson got put on a. I don't know why everyone.
Number 38, baby. I know who Lamar Jackson is.
In the Raiders game, Greg Williams. I don't know what he was.
Let's pivot off.
Yeah. We know
everyone here to talk about
Lamar Jackson. I'd often cover him.
No one is here to watch commentary about the 2020 Jets who won 2 games and were, in my opinion, the worst team in Jets history. What I'm sure people want to talk about, though, the 2025 New York Jets receiver room. The Jets seem to be going that wide receiver 2 by committee approach. No clear number 2 option behind Garrett Wilson. Chris, who do you want to be the Jets wide receiver 2 this season?
Who do I want to be the wide receiver 2? That's interesting. I've mentioned how I think Corley gets too much hate within this fan base. I think if there's the right role for him in our scheme, he could shine. This past Jets regime with Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich could not with those two head coach, could not get him on the field, and they failed to put him on the field even when the season was dead. So yes, he had that one boneheaded mistake, but he still is a Yak King. He still has solid talent. So I mean, he's a guy I'm kind of eyeing to progress through camp, through the preseason, give us some meaningful reps, and then really solidify his spot in the offense. So if it was my dream, he'd be wide receiver too.
Josh?
I think this is going to be sort of an earn your way onto the field type of thing.
By committee.
I don't, yeah, right. I agree with you. I don't think that Corley, just because of his lack of presence all of last year, and a majority of that is on the coaching staff. I'll agree with you there, Chris. But even so, I don't think you can confidently insert him into that role week one. I think this is a job that he's going to have to earn. He's going to have to come in here and prove his worth. I don't hope, but I honestly think that Allen Lazard is getting wide receiver 2 level targets, because look, back in his Green Bay heydays, when he wasn't dropping every pass he was receiving, Allen Lazard was good enough to be a true wide receiver 2. Obviously, he's
never been able to produce without Aaron Rodgers. I completely disagree with that.
Without Aaron Rodgers, I said in his Green Bay heydays, when it was him, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, and maybe Aaron Jones or something like that. But I think that if he can produce half of what he was in Green Bay, he is a more than solid wide receiver 2 for this football team. I hope that Corley takes enough steps. I hope that Arian Smith can develop enough to become a true wide receiver 2 on this team. But I think there's no way that week 1, those two guys who are effectively rookies should be getting wide receiver 1.
I don't think Allen Lazard's going to make this roster. Even I'll pull it up. No, they literally save money by cutting him. This is someone who literally had 200 some odd receiving yards when the 1 year when Aaron Rodgers wasn't his quarterback. He in Green Bay. Okay, great. His 1 year. There's been 1 year where he's eclipsed 530 yards. That was in 2022 with 780. Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. I don't want that as my wide receiver too. 2023, 311 yards. 2024, 530. I'm saving the money by cutting him rather than having him on my football team.
I mean, it depends on how he does through camp. I mean, the build that receiver has big frame, tall, fits our scheme, run first, and we have receivers who can block down the field. So that's like Lazard, Reynolds. So I'm not in favor of having Lazard. I don't think they're just going to cut him.
I always say
it's not like we're in a terrible cap
they're
spot,
not good.
though. What?
Yeah, I agree.
Whenever you have to talk about how great of a blocker a receiver is, they're not good.
Yes, but our scheme is run first, and using Lazard and Reynolds.
You have Josh Reynolds for that. You also have Irv Charles, who you could throw in, who's a big body who could block.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay someone $4 million when you could save more money for them to block. That's my opinion.
I don't like
we're in cap trouble, though.
Wide receiver too. I don't like the idea. I'm just saying the argument for him making the team is that he provides blocking upside, and we are a run first team.
Correct, Josh. But at the same time, do you just want to give away money when you're getting no production from them? Absolutely not.
No, I don't. But are you going to expect Smith to come in here and give you that level of production?
I would much rather have Arian Smith be my wide receiver too than Allen Lazard.
Okay, well, we'll see. It'll probably take us 3 weeks to figure out if that'll be a good decision or not.
Allen Lazard, it'll take you one snap. Jack?
The guy I would like to see become our wide receiver 2, I'd really like Malachi Corley to step up and be this wide receiver 2 of this team. Although I don't think he'll be ready by week 1 to be the definitive receiver 2. Over time, over the course of the season, maybe I would like him to start being evaluated more as a receiver 2, who I realistically think is going to be the receiver 2 come by week 1. Probably Josh Reynolds, if I'm going to go with a realistic approach here. I think they're going to use him. I really got to look at a realistic approach here. You got to look at a realistic approach here.
I am Jack Cotter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. Crazy. Jets will win 6 games no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat always talking crap, but it don't.
We all know you said that intentionally there to try to get the clip being played.
No. I actually.
You literally. Oh, okay. Yeah. They go.
No.
Okay. No. Go on.
You do have to look realistically here, though. Realistically, who's gonna be our receiver 2? Arian Smith. I don't know. It depends on training camp, but I don't think that they're gonna put. I don't think that Arian Smith's gonna be ready for this receiver 2 position, especially what we've seen out of him come out of college. You know, that drop rate really has to go up a little bit. You know,
I mean, go down.
Wait, his drop rate needs to go up.
No, sorry. I meant down. I meant down. But anyway, bottom line is, I think Reynolds will be the wide receiver 2 come week 1.
That's valid.
Reynolds concerns me. Like what he did last year is just scary for me. Honestly, who would you rather have as the wide receiver 2, Chris? Reynolds or Lazard?
Reynolds any day. On last year on the Lions, he was wide receiver 3 or worse because you have.
He wasn't on the Lions last year.
Who was he on?
He was on the Jaguars for the Broncos, for 5 games, and he had 183 receiving yards. Then he was with the Jaguars for 4 games, and he had 11 receiving yards.
What about Tyler Johnson? Didn't we sign him
too
like
inconsistent.
A 1-year deal?
I like his.
I'm not talking about wide receiver 2.
I like the value he provides as a contested catch guy. He's not a wide receiver 2 in my opinion.
I mean, he's just going to play the role that Mike Williams did last year and be gone by week 10.
No, you hope he plays a way bigger. You hope he's more efficient than.
We've had that happen to us 2 years in a row with Jeez, what am I saying? Oh, McCall Hardman in 2023, and then Williams in 2024.
Hardman just never
got how bad the coaching staff was, by the way.
We just can never utilize good wide receivers that we pick up.
I don't even think Hardman's that great of a receiver. I think he's like a special teams guy.
I think he's solid. I think he would have been solid enough.
And they didn't even let him do that.
I'd say he's a top 50, 55 receiver.
I hope Arian Smith turns out like McCall Hardman, a deep threat that you send him on deep balls and he catches.
You hope Arian Smith turns into be a lot better than McCall Hardman.
Yeah, much more consistent.
McCall Hardman is someone who returns punts and
Jameson Williams.
McCall Hardman is someone who returns punts and plays 10 offensive snaps a game, and has 4 targets a game.
On the Chiefs, he was good.
As a special team.
That's because they know how to use him.
Have King Jamie the Mad tell you.
Corbin, Jack Cotter, Kansas City.
How McCall Hardman's role.
He's a special teamer.
You see,
no, Connor. He was getting sent on quick slants to try and make moves with the ball in his hand.
Yeah, you're correct.
He wasn't
getting
playing
2 targets a game.
Role. I'll say he wasn't playing a pivotal role.
I want Arians. You want Arian Smith to turn into a legit wide receiver.
James Williams.
That should be the goal with it. Okay, look at this. McCall Hardman, 12 games last year, 90 receiving yards. Preferably, I don't want Arian Smith to have 90.
Not last year. Like the old McCall Hardman, the young.
So 297 receiving yards.
What was his best season?
693. And 2 touchdowns in 2021.
But look at average yards per catch. That's the most important.
Yards per reception, 20.7 in 19, 13.7 in 2020. 11.7 in 21.
If you can get 20.7 yards a catch out of Arian Smith, even if it's only a couple times.
Also, let's keep in mind, bit of a difference between Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields.
Yeah, consider
that debatable.
No, I think we're talking about him with Rodgers here.
No,
Chris will tell you the deep balls all that matters.
No,
we're talking about his time with the Chiefs, Jack. Rodgers.
But then you compared him to Fields, though. I'm saying like he played with Rodgers and not. Well, he was going to play with Rodgers at least.
We're talking about what Arian Smith could do compared to McCall Hardman's best season. Rodgers wasn't involved.
Yeah, so Arian Smith is like, I hope he plays the Jameson Williams type of role in our offense. Just like sweeps.
I think Corley fits that bill.
I'd rather have Corley do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. That's what I meant. So Corley than him. Arian Smith can turn to just a deep threat guy. You send him deep. That's why I don't care if he doesn't make people miss. Just get him the ball deep. Throw it to him.
Guys, I don't know about you guys, but I think Arian Smith starts returning punts and kicks, and Xavier Gibson gets cut. I don't see a role for him on this team at all.
Yeah, I don't want Xavier Gibson on there. He doesn't offer anything.
Outside of that, returning into
I don't know, but Arian Smith doesn't have much. I'd say I think there's a better chance Corley returns punts and kicks than Arian Smith.
Smith is pure speed. That's what he's good for. He had that high.
Malachi Corley's also speed.
Okay, but didn't
no
Aaron Smith
elusiveness.
have the fastest 40 time at the combine? It's hard.
Correct.
to
Matthew Golden isn't going to return punts for every single snap. Like, just because you're fast doesn't mean you're a true punt returner.
Okay, but if he doesn't get that many wide receiver snaps, you might as well have him somewhere if you're going to roster.
I mean,
him.
Malachi Corley had no offensive snaps last year. He didn't play special teams.
Okay, well, when Jeff Ulbricht's your head coach, I mean, is that the baseline we want to run off of here?
No, but I'm talking based on the past.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I'd be fine with either of them. My bottom point is that there's no reason Xavier Gibson makes the 53 here.
I don't want Xavier Gibson on this team. I just don't
agree.
think there's any point in rostering him. I want to go with the wide receiver room of give me Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Arian Smith, Tyler Johnson. Give me 5 receivers plus Irv Charles. 6 receivers.
Corley? There's no Corley in there?
I said Corley.
Corley,
Smith, Reynolds, Garrett Wilson, Irv Charles, Tyler Johnson. That's 6.
For those of you wondering about the Subway Series, 2-run double by Bellinger. Yankees up 2-0.
Those live updates on my app.
Hold on to second baseman Luis Angel Acuna. So somebody tell me where the Mets defense went wrong, and it was not ruled an error. It was ruled.
I'll take my win yesterday. Thank you very much.
I'll take my win in game 1. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Josh, what inning is it? What inning is it?
We're in the bottom of the first, so Yankees on pace for here. We've scored 2 runs and got
the Yankees took the lead first yesterday when
little bit of quick math. We're on pace for 54 runs here. Let's go, Chris. Actually, no, we wouldn't play the 9.
Boys, like you guys say to me, we're not here to talk about baseball. We're
on pace for 45. My bad.
Gentlemen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off topic.
No, you're good. I'm joking. But Mets will win, by the way.
Peterson.
Mets will win. Watch it.
Was it an error, Josh? Because Peterson only allowed 2 hits.
It says double to second baseman Luis Angel Acuna deflected by first baseman Pete Alonso. So maybe he tapped it. Acuna went to get it down the right field line or something.
A picker, I don't even know.
Because Soto's such a bad defender, he couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, probably. Sounds about right. Anyways, OTAs for the New York Jets coming up next week. In a couple days, actually, the OTA workouts. First phase is May 20th to 22nd, then 28th to 30th, and then June 2nd to June 5th. Chris, who were you watching at OTAs?
Malachi Corley, Leonard Taylor III, all these. Leonard Taylor III is I know Josh.
What's his name again? Leonard Taylor III. I think his name's Leonard Taylor III.
Yeah, Leonard Taylor III for sure. Engraved, tattooed on my brain. There's no one else in this defensive tackle room, really. Derek Nottie. I mean, we don't really know. He can be solid.
What about that Conor McGregor guy?
Not enough, as Kendrick Lamar would say. So
Braden McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Wasn't that a center?
That's a UFC fighter.
He's a UFC fighter.
Conor
McGovern. Conor McGovern.
Wrestling.
I was thinking of McGovern.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And anyways.
Yes, Arian Smith, Malachi Corley, Leonard Taylor III, Azareye'h Thomas, I'm watching. Andre Sisco, I'm watching. All of these guys. I mean, I'm excited to see what Aaron Glenn can turn them into and what big of a role they can play on our team in 2025.
Josh?
Let's take it easy on Chris here, Jimmy says.
I'm not a Panthers fan. It's like a crop top on me, that shirt, once upon a time.
I'm looking at defensive line help. That's the biggest circle here. Braden McGregor, not Connor McGregor. Braden McGregor, Leonard Taylor III, all those guys. We need as much help as we can get there. And I really think the wide receiver battle starts as soon as OTAs, as soon as minicamp gets underway, because that's something that we got to figure out pretty soon here. Big thing I'm going to be looking at, special teams, who to return punts, how good our boy Kai Kroger is. I'm excited to see him in a green uniform, and the kicking game, of course. That'll be interesting as well.
Names I'm looking at: Brandon Stevens headlining that list, Will McDonald. Those are the 2 guys I'm looking at. Is Will McDonald able to show some run defense technical improvement? That's what I'm looking for. How does Brandon Stevens compete against Azareye'h Thomas? Azareye'h Thomas already in the building for rookie minicamp. I'm shifting my focus over to Brandon Stevens. Jack, any new names?
All right. 2 names that I immediately thought of when you stated this. BC4, our guy Brady Cook, heading into this QB3 competition here. I'd really like to see
BC4?
Brady Cook.
What does the 4 come from?
That was his number in rookie minicamp.
Okay,
So
interesting. I didn't catch on.
Anyway, I'm excited to see what he can do in OTAs. I'm really interested to see, if he's a valuable backup for us to get, what Jordan Travis never was or never got to be for the Jets. And then another name I'm really excited to see is Tyler Barron. I'm really excited to see how he can fill in, see if JJ or Will isn't producing the same numbers as they did last year. Well, obviously JJ had that Achilles rupture. So, he's a name I'd really like to see going on in OTAs here, see if he can rub some dirt on JJ's Achilles rupture and get on out there on the field and produce lightning.
I didn't mention any rookies just because I feel like we already had rookie minicamp. That's why I try to focus more on the veterans. It's just still, even the names were like, it's hard to evaluate guys when they're in shorts and a t-shirt. Like,
that's true. Also, like Will McDonald, what are you going to learn about his run stopping
or even the regular
when
season.
they're doing bear hug?
His technique, Josh.
Okay, yeah, that's
fair. That's why I picked a trench player. Still, even the trench players, just like, can the season come?
Maybe even Donovan Edwards is a name I'd like to see going.
He's another rookie though. He's in minicamp.
No, I know. I'm just saying. For me, he's another one.
But you said even if he does well, he's not making the roster. So why would that matter, Jack? According to
I didn't say I said there's a high chance he's probably not. Based on
no, you said he will not make the roster because even if he does well,
competition, he will most likely not make the roster. That's correct, due to the high amount of competition.
What's the competition there, though? Really,
Breece Hall, Isaiah Allen. Those are all.
Breece Hall and Braylon Allen are guarantees.
Yeah, so was Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis is better than Braylon Allen.
The only realistic scenario I see, Donovan Edwards.
People just like Braylon Allen because he had 20 carries in a game against the.
He's still making the team though.
Braylon Allen was running back too. We didn't even use Breece Hall right. What make you think we can use Braylon Allen right? We could.
Isaiah Davis didn't need a coaching staff to be used, right? He barely got any opportunities. He was far more.
He had one good game versus the Dolphins.
Three.
But here's the thing, right? With the only realistic scenario I see them keeping Edwards if they cut Noah.
Dolphins wasn't even his best game, by the way, Chris.
What other game did he play well?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks game.
What about Stone Smart, tight end room? Obviously outside.
Oh God.
Outside of Mason Taylor, the entire tight end room. Who is?
I'm not even looking at it. I don't even care. I've been going crazy about the tight end room all year.
Is Kenny Alboa a name that's going to be?
He's on the Lions.
Okay, he's on the Lions.
Yeah. I don't even know what that. If they're able to utilize Mason Taylor and like, I'm so disappointed in how they built the tight end room at this point. It's like
I know. Should have gone Warren at 7.
And that wouldn't have really boosted it. For like that would have been nice 1,000%, but it wouldn't have really changed my opinion on the overall depth.
Would you have been, Connor? Would you have been fine with us getting Fannin at 40? Would you have rather, Connor? Would you have rather had Fannin at 42 or Harris at 42 since we had both opportunities?
Knowing that they took Smith at 4th round, I would have rather had Fannin.
No. I'm saying like live there. Like you don't know who they're picking yet. I'm saying like live in the moment. If you had to choose, not knowing who the draft yet.
Fannin. And I would have taken Noel at 73 or Royals at 110.
Fair. That's fair. You know what I mean? I was a Harris truther, baby. Trey Harris.
I don't think Harris is really a 2nd round pick. That's my opinion.
I still think he's produced enough to.
What do you like about him? What do you like about him so much?
I love his ability. I absolutely love his route running. Every time I saw it in Ole Miss, I craved his route running for this team. Like his route running is absolutely. Yes, I craved his route running for this team. You got to look at a realistic approach, right? You have to see.
Okay, so we're clip farming.
Yeah,
exactly. A lot of people. but be real here. Like,
don't play the
look at a realistic approach here.
Don't stop playing the clip because then he's gonna keep doing it.
Who's playing the clip?
Josh.
That was me. First time it was you, Connor. You spammed it.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I love his route running. I love his he contested catch rate was a little bit concerning for me, but overall when he gets open, when I saw him, when he gets open, he gets open very good. I think that's why he was the definitive wide receiver 1 for Ole Miss last year. A lot of people are saying Jackson Dart isn't NFL ready. I think a lot of his help last year at Ole Miss was because of Trey Harris, just because of all the things that Harris can do for that team. I really would have loved to have him on this team. I really think he would have been the definitive receiver 2 anyway, based off of the receiver room we have right now. And I was really excited to add a young tall guy in here for this group.
Get what you're saying, 1,000%. Ultimately, they come away with Arian Smith, and you got to hope he is able to produce for the New York Jets. We appreciate you all tuning in here on Next Gen Jets. Smash that like button, hit subscribe to all your questions for us in the chat. Pin comment to call into the show. Super Chats membership is a great way to contribute, getting you into our membership raffle. Make sure to fill out, I just threw it in the chat, the link for our Next Gen Jets game meetup. That'll go to the pin comment. We're organizing a game meetup, trying to get every single one of you guys in the building. We're going to do a tailgate. We're going to do a group buy with another Jets content creator talking to the Jets this week. So please, right now, stop what you're doing. Click that link in the chat and go fill out the Next Gen Jets game meetup form to reserve your spot. You don't need to front the money right now. We're just trying to gauge a head count, gauge interest. So when I talk to the Jets this week, we know who's interested in tickets. So please, please, please fill out the Next Gen Jets game meetup form pinned at the top of the chat. We appreciate all of your support as always, and looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys. So please fill out the Next Gen Jets game meetup form. Throw all your questions in the chat for us. You guys can call into the show.
Let's hope Fields doesn't rupture his Achilles.
Eddie says, hopefully we finally use the tight end position.
I hope we do. I think we're going to use it pretty well this year, especially if we're running to a run-first offense this year. I think they're going to utilize a lot of the blocking game with these tight ends, along with maybe a couple bit of RPO to Mason Taylor type of things. Like maybe you send him on a quick out route.
The blocking
you guys know that play?
That's the problem.
I know. Like, look, he wasn't really the best at either strengths, but I still think if coached right, like Chris says, if used right, I think that obviously within the right scheme, any tight end in this room can really do something for us. Maybe not the best production, but definitely more than above average. So you guys know that play in Madden, right, where it's like, no, just listen. I'm not directly saying it. Look, it's like kind of like a little bit of a comparison. Do you guys know that play in Madden where it's like a bubble on one side and then a tight end quick out on the other?
RPO peak zone bubble.
Yes, that. I think maybe that would be
an NFL play too.
Run with a tight end.
A bubble screen.
That's an NFL play as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
So what about that play?
I think you got to use a lot of the tight end speed here. I think Mason Taylor's a very speedy tight end. With him to be able to get a speed out here, I think you can utilize that well for him, especially if the defense isn't really pressing up on him, because like we said, we're going to run in a run first offense this year. So I feel like they're going to be more focused on the running back and Justin Fields than Mason Taylor.
Question: if you're looking for speed, why wouldn't you go to Arian Smith or Malachi Corley and go to a way slower tight end?
Well, here's the thing. Italian Eddie.
When you want your tight end blocking?
Yes, that's why you get like, I don't know, Ruckert out there to block.
Ruckert was the second worst blocker in the NFL last year at the tight end.
That's what I just said. I just said he's a terrible blocker. But if you're gonna run, Taylor out on a speed out, who are you gonna have block Stone Smart?
No, but my question is, why would you want Taylor on a route when you have speed in Arian Smith or Malachi Corley? Then you have your best blocking tight end blocking for you. A lot of the screen games, I'm looking for the speedy receivers. In my opinion, that's who I want more.
Of course, I would choose Arian Smith on that speed out over Mason Taylor. But this is the specific question that Italian Eddie is asking: that like, how do you use the tight end position? That was just a thought.
I think they're going to be used a lot in the blocking game.
I agree as well. I'm just saying, like, if you had, we're talking about tight ends here. I'm not comparing Arian Smith to Mason Taylor. I'm just saying maybe throw him on a quick speed out and maybe you get a few yards with him with his big body and all. But obviously, if I had the two lined up right in front of me, I would choose Arian Smith on that speed out any day.
Do you trust Smith actually holding on slash catching a punted football? No.
I don't know. I don't know. Especially, do you guys remember when Xavier Gibson? I don't know if it was Xavier Gibson. It was a couple years ago when I think he asked for like a fair catch or something that he dropped the ball in like the right. Was it against the Raiders?
I don't directly remember.
Against the Patriots, maybe.
It may have been the Patriots. Yeah, that he asked for a fair catch. He dropped it, and then New England recovered it.
Yeah, that was Patriots. But for the tight end thing,
not surprise me per se.
For the tight end thing, just not that many two tight end looks. We just don't have the depth to afford doing any of that, which also limits playbook that.
Warren doesn't make a difference though. That still doesn't add depth.
Warren doesn't have two tight ends
better
onto
than
the field.
Smart, better than Jeremy Rucker.
Still, that's not depth.
Unless you go Tyler Warren and Mason Taylor in the first two rounds.
We're complaining about the depth here, Jack, not the talent.
Oh, and then get Jackson Hawes. Hawes in the 6th. Perfect. Should have gone Hawes late in the draft. 5th round, 6th round, if we didn't trade those picks away, Jackson Hollis would have been a perfect blocking tight end.
Okay.
Jack, the fact that they waited so long to take receiver postponed everything else.
I
which
agree.
is taking a corner
Yeah.
at 73 killed
And the fact that they took a
Yeah.
D end in the late
I
6th
disagree
round
with that.
also.
They
Would
should
you
have gotten
not-
a receiver at 42.
They also took a D end late 6th round like that. That
the
also.
I
D
still
end
think
was
he's gonna be good though.
No, that got
I think
pushed
he's gonna be
back
good.
because they jumped the line on Azirier Thomas. All those things pushed back needs like tight end and wide receiver and D end.
Engstrand, hopefully creative, innovative scheme plays, concepts, packages, etc. RPO, bootleg, screen hook, ladder, jet sweeps, flea flicker, and around Philly special,
Yes,
wildcat,
that's why you brought him
etc.
in.
I would love to
That
see
is what
Isaiah Davis like that.
That's what I'm hoping to see out of Tanner Engstrand. You need a young, innovative offensive mind, whether it's an offensive coordinator or a head coach, to have success at the NFL level. You got to hope Engstrand's that guy.
For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you can't have these old and nowadays in the NFL you cannot have a non-mobile quarterback. We've seen how this is nowadays, especially with all these new with all the new play style coming up, all the new, everybody's learning more about hydration, everybody's learning about more exercise workouts and stuff. All these things are getting more complex. That plays a key part. Have you ever seen hold on, look back in the 1980s. Do you ever see how tired players got after like one play? Especially look at the offensive linemen. Compared to now, offensive linemen, there was no
fine, you're right. We have good
hydration.
hydration, so we can run schemes. We can run different schemes because we have hydration.
No,
How,
let me finish. Let me finish.
how does this relate to Tanner
today's
Engstrand's innovation?
Hey, let me finish. So here,
This
you
is
have
going
all these
nowhere.
guys. Take a look back at the 1980s. All the offensive linemen were fat and slow. They're nothing like today's offensive linemen and defensive linemen who are fast and strong. You cannot have a slow quarterback in the pocket and not be able to escape the pressure. Look at Aaron Rodgers last season. Again, he just came off of an Achilles rupture, but look, got absolutely destroyed by defensive tackles and defensive ends and even linebackers left and right. Look, you have to have a mobile quarterback in this league like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. You cannot have a guy like Aaron Rodgers in your backfield, especially, if he's that old, he's non-mobile. You can't have that. Everybody's more advanced now. That's what I'm saying.
How
Because
does
of
that
the
relate to
hydration.
Tanner Engstrand's innovation? I was still.
Because you have to. I'm glad that they got. I'm glad that they.
Yeah, you're talking about
Engstrand-
free agency additions, not
He's
innovation.
glad that they
No,
got the
no,
hydration
no.
in.
Yeah, but
No.
Justin Fields'
listen.
electricity plays a key role in the offense.
I'm
I get
glad
what
that
Jack's
Engstrand will
saying.
be able
Wait,
to
can you
adapt.
can you
He'll be
circle
able
this
to
all back to
adapt.
the
That's the thing.
hydration?
Hold on. Oh my gosh. All right, listen. He'll be
Wait,
able
no,
to
but we're
adapt.
talking about play concepts here and schemes.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm getting onto right now.
You finished 3 minutes ago.
I get it.
Listen. This is why I'm glad that Engstrand is probably going to be open to creating to a new realistic, more modern play calling, right? You can't have any more 3-step drop, wait in the pocket for God knows
I
how
see what
long
you're
and get
saying.
sacked.
You're
gotta
saying,
have a
okay,
lot more-
you're saying he has the personnel around him to build a modern day offense.
Yes, and I'm glad he does. Especially because if he's not looking, and even with take a look at the Steelers last year, they're still running like a 2010 offense or 2005 offense last season. Look what happened to Fields; he wasn't able to produce anything there. If Engstrand's able to build his offense around Fields and how he plays, and evolve and adapt this offense, then bingo. Because the NFL is a totally new game, and you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to evolve in order to survive in this league. That's what I'm saying.
Big fella comes in with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, big fella. Chris G, I just got back from Knoxville. We're optimistic at UT this season. Nico, who? LOL. This is who Nico is.
My name is Chris Grasso and I love the Jets more than everyone else. I am a highlight warrior. Aaron Glenn is the best coach they could have. Hired, but under 4 games won and he must be fired. I love every 2026 QB just based on highlights. I have watched 5 minutes of Nico's highlights and he is a Hall of Fame. Arm strength is all that matters.
That's who Nico is. Chris watched 5 minutes of Chattanooga highlights and
NC State.
Nico was a
Nico got that
Hawker.
arm. He got that form. Nico has that clean release. I love Nico Iamaliva, baby. But I also love the balls for my guy, the big fella. Let's go.
You what?
I love the balls for my guy, the big fella.
Okay, who do you want to be their quarterback one this season?
Who do I want there to be the quarterback run? He has like a complicated name. Something with an
Oh,
FR.
come on, Connor. Don't set
Like
him
the
up
5-star
he's
recruit
new.
Frazier. Yeah, him. The big fella got my back with the name.
Wait, hold on, Chris. I'm confused. Are you a UCLA fan though? Because like you love Nico and you said you're gonna watch every snap of him. Like it's okay, you can admit it, but I don't care. I know it's a genuine question. Like, are you?
You
a
don't care,
UCLA
Jack?
fan?
Really?
No, I don't. No, I'm just like Chris. Are you a genuine UCLA fan now though? Like, could you see yourself becoming a UCLA fan by week 1?
I'm watching every snap of all these quarterbacks. My favorite, personally, of all of them, personal favorite, is Nico Yamaliva. And I also gonna follow the Tennessee Volunteers for my guy, that big fella, baby. Let's go.
All right.
I'm excited for this college football season.
Watch him.
I still have no
Wolves.
alignment to a college football team. So I'm
Go
kind of
Wolves.
like,
Aren't you a Penn State guy, Jack?
No,
Yeah,
I'm a
you-
Michigan
always
guy.
crazy
Just saying.
cares about
a
your-
My
Michigan
cousin plays-
fan.
Oh, but
Yeah,
you're
I've been
already,
for like
you're-
9 years now.
But you've already
I've been for like 9
you've
years.
practically committed to Penn State already. I mean,
No, look, my cousin just plays there. I just enjoy watching him. I like
Yeah.
Penn State. You know,
Yeah, get me
I'm
tickets
just
to the
saying.
Penn State whiteout game. That would be lit. I love
Like,
electric.
yo,
Oh my-
she
they have,
knows.
like,
She knows.
80,000.
She
They
was
have, like,
friends with.
90,000.
She was friends with Tyler Warren.
third round QB
Or
Drew Aller
Penn
live
State.
in the flesh.
Whoa.
She was friends with Tyler Warren. So maybe I'll see if I can get some
You
insight.
said that was Drew Aller. You literally lied. You
Yeah,
said-
exactly.
No, Tyler. I'll text her right now and I will show you with the
Okay.
text. I got the
Yeah,
names.
Jack,
mixed up.
this is-
Look, it was.
I don't know if
Tyler
I'm gonna
Warren
be able to
and
sleep at night if I don't see this text message. By...
No, you guys don't
11:45.
believe me. I'll text her right now and have her.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be able to sleep
Yeah.
if you don't show me this text message by 11:45
Okay.
p.m.
I'll
Eastern
send you it by
Standard Time.
11:45 tonight. It's all right. I'll send you it by 11:45.
Appreciate you tuning in. Smash that like, hit subscribe. Make sure to fill out the form for our next Gen Jets game meetup. We appreciate you guys. As always, call into the show with the comment in the chat. Keep your questions coming. We'll get to those, but let's head over the phone lines. First up today, Beastbreaker joins us. Beast, what's
Good
going
evening,
on?
ladies and gentlemen of the
Yes.
Grand Jury? I know we're getting closer and closer to preseason, but I think the first match we're gonna have, it's gonna be the Eagles versus the Jets, game 1 of the preseason, and then number 2, we're gonna go against the Packers, and then number 3, the usual matchup, Giants, Jets, the usual. That's all. And I like that hat, Chris. NYPD. Good choice.
Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Okay, who's ready to see tonight the Mets versus the Yankees? Okay, who's gonna win?
Mets are winning. Baby.
Mets, baby.
Winning, baby.
Go
Let's go,
Yankees,
Mets.
baby.
Okay. Mets.
2-1 Yankees. Mets are climbing back in this ball game.
Okay, hey Jack, where's your point here? Mets or Yankees? Where do you fit?
Mets,
Mets.
baby. Mets, baby. Let's go, Mets.
Oh, I see. We got a 4-2 game here. That basically says we got 4 Mets guys here, 2 Yankee guys here. But hey, we're all Jets fans here. We're here to have fun. That's the fun of it. I think it's gonna be a good good way to go. But I'm looking at these matches here, and I'm still thinking like, what do we do here? Where do we go? I still say we need a wide receiver. We need 2 more guys that could squeeze the offense and defense line in case one man goes down. We need a big scare. We need a couple big.
Never have enough defensive linemen, Beast.
Yeah, we do need some D because this ain't enough. It's called not too much this.
Not enough.
Not enough this.
It's not enough.
No, not enough money.
It's not
So we gotta
enough.
cough up some more money. And you know what I mean by more money, more green. I mean, we're gonna have to take another $450 million out and just go get talent. It's just Glenn's gonna sit down, he's gonna negotiate, and you know how Glenn is. You know how Glenn is, right? He's gonna negotiate. He's gonna sit down, he's gonna talk tough, and he's gonna say, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll negotiate the contracts, we'll make small talk out of this, but we gotta bring them here and we gotta see what they can do first. I do want to say to Greg Zerline, it was nice knowing you. Bye-bye.
Pink slip. Pink slip.
Yeah, pink slip. Here you go. Back of the line. You can find employment somewhere else. It's called. Did you see how he dunked it last year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know
Doink.
how it looked, you know how it looked after he hit the bar. I'm like, oh. You know what that look is when he hits the bar and you're going, oh, what the hell did he do again?
Absolutely.
It's like you want to do one of these to the freaking wall. Goes, what the hell are you doing? What are you thinking? If Parcells was coaching Zerline, he'd be like, oh, sit your ass down. You suck anyway. You make Josh DeVore look better than whatever that other person is in real life. God, my God. I've ever seen Nick Folk kicking field goals. How about we talk about Nick Folk? Why don't we bring him in? He's been
Baby.
bring
Solid.
him in.
He's just getting a little old.
Sure, he's old, but does he still got the leg?
Oh yeah, baby.
Everybody said that about Zerline before this
Bring him
season,
in.
so I
Bring
mean,
him in. But Carlson, no. Carlson, no. He's young. Okay, he's gonna make mistakes, but he's not ready yet. I think it's time second string on the side for him. In case our guy goes down. But here's the deal: we got to go get talent now. June 1st is right around the corner. June 1st is coming up. You know what that means, right? Talent is out there. Go get it. It's not hard. Stop sitting around twiddling your thumbs and start saying, well, what do we do here? Go in the market. Quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. You need wide receivers. Go to your defense. Look around. There's hundreds of names you could pick out of there. Why don't you sit down, go through that roster, look at them wisely, pick whoever you want, and bring them up here and see what the guys can do. If they're qualified, then give them a check and sign them. And then what you could do is he has to come to work. He has to work for his check like everybody.
Unlike Rodgers.
That's right. And he has to do the job. That means you can't sit at home and bellyache. You get your shoes on, you get your ass up here, you work, and you're gonna participate, which means you work with your peers, you work with your teammates, and you have to do the job. It's required as part of this team.
Beast, we appreciate the call. You got any final thoughts?
Bottom line is we're looking at a good 14-3 season this year because
Amen.
Baltimore will give us a good heavyweight fight. Buffalo will give us a good heavyweight fight, and Tampa Bay. Okay.
You got to look at a realistic approach here.
What I'm going to say here is Tampa might give us a good, 7, maybe 8 rounds of, good duking it out, in the ring. This is what I say: 14-3. That's how it's going to be.
So they don't spear us.
Online.
I am Jack Cotter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. Crazy Jets will win 6 games, no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat, always talking crap, but it don't.
We appreciate the call, Beast, and let's keep it rolling with your calls. Up next here on the show is our good friend King Jamie the Mad, who graces us with his presence. King, what's going on?
What's up, guys? That was pretty funny. You guys are killing me, man. I get a good giggle out of that. Jack, you gonna stand for that?
Well,
hey, I got one of my own.
I am caught along, and I am fucking annoying to most. My takes and pessimism annoy people. According to Chris, I'm illogical, and I take that as a compliment. I am done putting blind faith into you regimes, and the Jets need to show me they are not just the same old. Josh McCown would have been the best 18, no matter what Grasso says. I love the Jets with all my heart, boy, must show me now.
You guys are funny as heck. Oh my god, my head's gonna pop. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my goodness. So
Josh has a song.
I have my song.
after.
Oh, got his best one. Josh is the best one.
is it okay? You guys are killing me.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Cue it, Connor.
We gotta play it.
Yo, my name is Josh Whoever, and I love the Gamecocks. SC football and the gang, green winning 1 weekend. There's nothing better. The Jets should have drafted Emma Worry in 25. Now they better take Sellers in 26. Jack always talking about touching the MetLife turf, but has he even done so? Yep, I am new to the Sunday show, but I am more than ready. Yes, Jimmy, I see you.
There it is, the Josh Wolliver song.
That's fun, you guys. Oh my goodness, that's really fun. So I want to start with this though. That last caller, did you see his walls? Heck yeah, bro! I got my Eddie right here.
Yeah.
I like Vic and I like Eddie. Yeah, bro. What's up, Terminator? Heck yeah, his walls are everything I got all over that my wife doesn't let me have in the house. Right?
Interesting.
Heck yeah, man! It was cool. Jack, thinking that Fields wasn't doing good in Pittsburgh is mind blowing to me because he was like 6-2 when they benched him because it was Russell Wilson's contract they had to fulfill.
I didn't say he was doing like terrible. I just said like I feel like he wasn't in the right offense to be used.
Wait, you didn't
right?
think
Obviously,
I didn't catch that.
Great, dude.
He threw 5 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Yeah.
10 rushing
Russell
touchdowns.
Yeah, Connor, that's
Russell
solid.
Wilson,
And
great.
I'm saying that, Chris. I'm saying that.
Yeah, he was doing so good.
No, that's
all right,
great.
and then so I just wanted to make that little statement there because I got faith in Fields. I think he's going to do a good job for you. He's going to do just good enough where you could actually probably build around the kid. I thought he had potential when he went to the Bears when he was first drafted, right?
That's dangerous, King. Watch out.
Let's play
I mean,
crazy ball.
not necessarily build around just for him though, but build for a guy that you're going to pick up in the future too, right? But he's a good guy to have there right now. To me, I think that he's already seen the rough part of it, you know, and he's seen what can happen when you got a good scheme, like a really good franchise like the Steelers, that they can just pretty much do it with any quarterback, really. And he was doing great, you know. Yeah. And with your new coaches, I think there's a good shot that he does well. I hope he can contend and make it like rough in the East on the Bills, because the Bills seem to think that they're just going to walk through everybody this year. And I gotta slap him in the face there. You know, stop it, Bills. You know, you're not indestructible. You still can't get by Kansas City. We lost one game.
That's true.
Bad. And it was a Super Bowl, and I think that was the limelight thing. And Kansas City's coming back, too. And everybody says, oh, the Chiefs are done or whatever. Shit, no, we made some moves. And I see the Jets making moves, too. So don't discount any of these moves. They're for the good. They're for the future. I see Glenn doing that. And when Glenn goes into meetings, I don't think he's going to go in there like a tough guy. I think he's going to go in there like a smart businessman does. These really rich guys, they get together. And they don't disrespect each other and say, this is how it is, and this is where I shit, and that's over there is where you shit. You know, no. They go in there and they do it in a real life sort of a situation, man. This is a business meeting, you know, and he's going to go in there with respect, and if he does it right, the right guys realize he's willing to play ball. Man, the moves you guys can make when the big boys are playing, there's big moves at playing. And if he can get in there right and do it right, I don't think he's going to do it like a hard ass. I think he's going to do it smart, like a businessman. That's what I like about Glenn the most. He will speak to you the way that you understand, right? I think he's got the ability to do that and still talk to the high rollers, you know.
That's what you need. That's what you need nowadays.
Yeah, it's like a perfect storm, bro. I think that's going to be cool. Oh, and then you guys were talking about Mecole Hardman and stuff. Yeah, I watched him go to the Jets, and I watched him just not be used right. You got to get him the ball where he's wide open. He can look around and then take off, because he was faster than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, he's a track star. He's scared if he has to go like this and catch a ball.
That's why he can't succeed with any other quarterback than one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, he's scared though. Like, if he's not wide open and that ball's going to be contested at all, he's got to be right at the sideline ready to dive out of the way, because he's worried about getting his body throttled, man. He's not a big guy, you know?
Oh, the fact him leaking the game plan, though, was pissed me off. Remember, you hear that?
The what?
When he was with the Jets, one of his last games before he got traded, I think it was the Week 4 game against the Chiefs, the game in 2023. He leaked the Jets game plan, playbook, to the Chiefs ahead of that game.
What the F? Yeah. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was another thing that I didn't like.
I didn't know about that either. That's crazy.
Crap out of me right there. I don't know if that's true, bro. But if that's really true, and why in the hell is he even in the league? You know,
that's why there were talks about him not getting another NFL opportunity.
Probably. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah,
I understand having loyalties to the home team and stuff, but gosh dang, dude, you don't do that.
Exactly.
Wow, that's not cool. I didn't know about that, bro. Otherwise, I would have said piss on Mecole, you know, because honestly, he was mostly hurt with us. He really didn't do a whole lot with us. A lot of the Chiefs fans were like, why in the crap do we keep him? There's a few other names too. But as a Chiefs fan, I was always like, I hope he does good. You know, I mean, love the kid. Hope he does good. So I didn't know he did that crap to you guys. That kind of irritates the shit out of me because New York Jets is my second team. And you Jets fans are my favorites, you know. I mean, other than Chiefs fans, because we will eat some cow pig and chicken with barbecue sauce all over it and just hang out and drink beer and watch games and just love it and have fun. And we don't fight or nothing, you know. And you Jets fans are basically the same. You talk a little strong and you get a little animated. It's pretty fun for me.
Also,
Definitely. King, we appreciate the call. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah. Much love and respect, boys. Jack, stop taking their crap, man. Get them back. Josh, you show these boys what's up because I know you. I can see it in your face, man. You're just like, oh, yeah, I got something I gotta say, but like, don't be timid, bro. Take it.
Yes, sir.
Take it.
Appreciate it, King. Have a great night, my friend.
Cool hat, Chris. Love you, Connor. Bye, guys.
Love you too, King. Ladies and gentlemen, our king of the show, King Jamie the Mad, checks in with us, and we got a couple of super chats to attend to here quickly. Then we will wrap things up, getting into the dog days of the off season, which are never fun. So the storylines begin to fade. Let's see here. King Jamie says, "You demand, Chris. Aguilar is going to be just fine at UT. Then Faison Brandon.
I was talking about Faison, the guy with the F. Yep.
Frazier, you said was his last name.
I was pretty close. I'd say I was pretty close.
Yeah, I'll give you the benefit.
Got
of
the
that.
Z sound in there somewhere.
Go 3-month member Super Jack Cotter. Tough start for the Mets. Hopefully we can win LGM. 1-2. Yeah, I would not consider a tough start, but yes, hopefully the Mets can prevail. Go and show that they truly are the best team in New York.
Bro, New York
All
team.
right. Let's back.
what's the score now?
2-1.
2-1, good guys.
I just can't stand the
With
Yankees.
the captain
fan
at the plate.
90% of Yankees fans aren't real Yankee fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most. I would agree with that because like they're the most popular franchise in all of sports.
It's the
People just-
logo's cool.
And the most
Yeah.
historic.
Give me a
Like the
break.
most popular and the most historic in all of sports worldwide. Like you can find people anywhere wearing a Yankee hat. But the true diehard Yankee fans, they know what's up.
Chris, we talking about you in the next playoff run, or
Let's go Knicks, baby.
It went from that. Yeah. Oh, we got some news for you, Chris.
Oh.
Okay, some off Jets news. According to the New York Daily News, I just got an update. The New Jersey Transit strike is over. Tentative agreement has been reached. So now you can transport through the you can be transported throughout the swamplands that is New Jersey.
You
And,
haven't been anywhere but
just,
MetLife.
just to say that it's New York or nowhere. Just to say that it's New York or nowhere. Or
I mean, how are
Staten
people
Island's
going to
better
work
than
these
Brooklyn.
past few days with the strike?
Drive.
No, but like a lot of people like heavily rely on trains. I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, New York should kind of just annex New Jersey.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy statement to say. I love New York. My roots reside in New
I'm
York.
joking. New Jersey plays a role in the election. They have 7 electoral votes.
How many does New York have?
Connecticut's a
again?
highway between
New York has New York has
27 Connor on
I was gonna say 24. I was gonna be close.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
What does Connecticut got 4?
I think around that, yeah. Don't know the
Maybe
exact number. It's like 3 or 4.
I don't know. We got a new census coming out soon, don't we? Isn't there going to be?
I mean, but really, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut don't really contribute to the election. It's only like 4 like big.
That
states.
is not.
It's only 4
the swing states. You mean?
Yeah,
Florida,
the swing
Every
states are
vote
obviously
counts,
the most
man.
important, but 24 electoral votes is like what is
But
that?
they're
Josh, the third most?
All of us are most likely going. to one
Yeah,
side every
behind
year.
California and Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe tied with Florida or something like that.
No, Florida has like 30. Florida has 30, I believe.
California
Oh,
is
okay.
like every other state. out of the
California is
water.
somewhere in the 50s. My goodness.
Yeah, 59.
Yeah,
I think.
54.
But
54.
Jack,
50,
remember
54.
that group chat video? Connecticut's just a glorified highway between New York and Boston.
Yes, I have seen that before.
You
know,
liked
I-
that
that's
video?
kinda
I
true.
saw. I was listening to it today.
Yeah. I like CT. I like CT shit talk. Gets me fired up.
He's the guy was literally from Connecticut.
Yeah, I know.
The Connecticutian citizens are already.
I will say,
Going.
Connecticut has some pretty cool front lawns when you drive by. You guys do a nice job of mowing your grass, keeping it in check. You know.
Thank you.
Can't get any overgrown. You guys are good about picking your weeds.
Josh, Brooklyn has some nice shooting from time to time, like some fireworks shows. We get to go outside and see that every day.
Says the one with the NYPD hat. The boys keeping our city safe. All right.
Sure, baby.
Some nice Fenteds.
Premium city, Little Italy, Staten Island, baby. Come on, you know it's
all
up.
right. That's where you've lost us. I'd rather live in Connecticut than Staten Island.
Oh, wait now.
That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
I've never been to.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, Josh. Let's go, Josh.
Yeah, Jack. Let's go.
I'd rather live anywhere but the slums of Brooklyn. What do they have? The Nets? The Nets suck.
Whoa,
Chris,
back
I
it
have a
up. You'd
question.
rather
It's
live
not
in
a
New
bad
Jersey
thing.
than
It's not a
Brooklyn?
bad thing at all that Staten Island is not widely regarded as New York City. You know that, right? Like that's not a bad thing.
People who say Staten Island is not New York City are people from Long Island who are mad that Long Island is not included in the city.
That's no one cares about Long Island suburbs.
Why
No
would
one,
Long Island be in the city, bro? There's
no one.
like a section.
Long Island is like
Long Island to New Jersey.
Chris telling
So Chris, go to an average
person.
person. An average person in America, say name the 5 boroughs. If they get one wrong, 99.9% out of the time, it's Staten Island.
Yes, correct.
That's because they're dumb. Americans are just dumb.
People don't even know what a borough is.
There's like fat rednecks.
Boroughs
Let's
don't
be real.
exist
America's just
anywhere
fat rednecks.
Oh, come on. Chris. All right, Chris. Come on, man. There's a reason we have the most strongest military in the entire world. There's a reason we have the
strongest.
Yeah, let's not
How's
get
English
political
class
here.
going
Chris has
for
all
you,
these
Jack?
crazy
The most
conspiracy
strongest.
theories with nothing to back them up. Just maybe receive an invite to one of our nightly phone calls to find out of the wild theories that is Chris Grasso's conspiracy theories.
Open phone lines.
Yeah, open. Yeah, whoever wants the phone numbers, just let us know, and
wow, that
we
was
got you.
entertaining.
You know, I could just leak Jack's number right now, but I won't do that.
What?
718.
Jack is in shock. I leaked my county on accident, but it's
Chris,
whatever.
speaking of the NYPD, did you see the ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge yesterday?
You were sending me videos like 12 last night.
That was breaking news. Your PD boys were live on the scene.
There are some conspiracy theories to be made about that too, I'm sure.
Oh my
god!
All right, goodness.
And you'd probably believe them.
Sky, folks. Chemtrails in the sky.
I don't even know what that means. Anyways, when we start getting political, that means we have to begin to start wrapping things up here on the program. We appreciate your support as always. Jack, any final thoughts?
11th edition in the books. You know, let's go here. Next Gen Jets, baby. Josh, so excited to have you on for every Sunday now. Gonna be great. It's a great addition. And overall, let's get at the Steelers week 1, baby. Let's go kick some ass.
Joshua, the shooting capital of the world native.
That would actually be the Bronx, first of all.
Jack,
thank you.
All right, just
thank
the final thoughts. Let's go.
Jack, thank you for looking at me as a realistic approach. I appreciate it. Great first Sunday edition with you boys.
You got to look at a realistic approach here. Hit the clip.
Glad to be able to talk some New York Jets football and just Lenore Sellers, Jets quarterback 2026. See you boys next time.
Chris?
Josh, glad to have you. Staten Island, pizza, and Italian jet bits, baby. That's my final thoughts.
All right, that'll do it for us. We appreciate you. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. I'm back tomorrow, 8 p.m. This show is back next Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Smash that like, hit subscribe. That'll do it for us. Jack Cotter, Josh Welliver, Chris Grasso. I'm your host, Connor Long. Signing off. Have a great night.
Let's get this going, Chris. Let's go. Get this chat, baby. Let's go.
ATS.
Jets.